Okay, so do we have a particular writing process? The age-old question: lyrics or melody? Which one comes first, Joel? I've always wanted to know.
Chicken comes before the egg. Go creative chicken.
Yeah. The burger.
Go creative.
Yeah, I always eat the burger first. It's I think it's always different. I think it's different for everybody. And I think I love writing with other people, and I love I like the process of songwriting in general. It's one of my favorite things to do. I do it even if nobody heard the songs, if nobody sung them, if nobody liked them. I think I still write songs just for the process. And so, you know, I think with this project there was a lot of music first, and then there was a couple of songs that were kind of lyrics first. But yeah, I think on this album there was definitely a lot of music first when it came to the songs, and then kind of really nutting down into the lyrics and kind of working out what it's about. But even when it's music first, you kind of know what the song's about, and you've got scratch lyrics often. You just want to make them a bit better, and so and just kind of really clarify what it is you want to say. So that's kind of the process, I think, with this album. I like writing by myself. I like writing with other people, and I think it's all healthy. It's all good. And if you're writing songs, just be open to anything. You know, like be open to a phrase. One of the easiest songs. I think it's easier to write songs if the lyrics come first, but I think it's just being open to it and really just being ready to kind of capture that in any way, shape, or form at any time, whether it's with a phone or with a piece of paper or singing it to your mum or something or whatever. Go forth and write. Any more questions?
You mentioned that you played around with paradoxes in the song. Did you have a paradox with the songs Go and Nova and Nova is finished?
That's what I heard. I heard that. No, but we'll claim it anyways.
God knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So the question was, do we intend to have a paradox with the songs Go and Nova? Because in Spanish, Nova means don't go. But no, the song Nova was funny because it was kind of Michael Guy just wrote this piece of music, which kind of formulated the song. And at the time he was at some little rock and roll venue in Norfolk, Virginia called the Norva. Norfolk, Virginia, Norva. And so when he wrote the music, he just had like a working title. So he called it Norva. But Mikey's a bit dyslexic. Don't hold it against him. The kid's a genius. So when he wrote Norva, he wrote Novra. So as long as we were working on the song, it was called Novra. And when we were writing the lyrics, you know, I think we were kind of like, let's kind of base it on Isaiah 60, you know, all about the glory of God, arise, shine, for your light has come. And so the song was called Novra. I mean, till when it was finished, like the song was mixed, everything. We're putting the album together and we're kind of just putting the last line.
The session is still called Nova.
The session's called Novra, and which has no meaning whatsoever apart from it's a dyslexic misspelling of a venue in Norfolk, Virginia called Norva. However, you'll like this. So the song's about Isaiah 60, about the glory of God shining, and when we came to kind of finishing the title, it was kind of like, hang on, maybe we could call the song Nova. And there's another song, Jad referred to it earlier, that I had been writing that I was going to call Nova. And then that song kind of never eventuated. I was like, well, hang on, why don't we call Nova, which by definition is a star that suddenly increases in brightness. And I thought, well, that's kind of a sweet little metaphor for how we want to see, you know, God's light kind of suddenly increase in brightness here on earth. So the song's called Nova.
Happy families.
Indeed. Okay. Question was story behind using Beautiful Exchange again as an instrumental. Kind of happened in a roundabout ways. We were when we played Aftermath, I was playing the Rhodes. I hope you like my Rhodes work. It's some of my finest Rhodes work ever. That was a joke. And we finished and the session was still going, and I started like hitting random keys. Like it was just like the song was finished, and we're still kind of in the moment, but I was just like hitting these random notes on the Rhodes, and then kind of after about 2 minutes just finished, and I was like, all right, I'm done. Left it. We had like Hillsong conference, and we'd been on tour in Europe, and a lot had been happening. And while we were away, Michael Guy Chislett and James Ryder had all this spare time on their hands. So they kind of, when they were working on that track, they just started building the music around these random notes. And I came back into the studio and I said, "Oh, we worked on this. What do you think?" And I was like, "It's incredible. I mean, I think it's just a remarkable piece of music." And it was just perfect because we wanted a bit of a moment after aftermath, and just to kind of seal it and just kind of have a bit of a breath, and I was just like, this is incredible. And then it just kind of had, it just needed something to kind of like, for all those strange chord movements to sit on. And I was thinking we'd go back into like the kind of, I guess, the tag in Aftermath, I know that you're with me. And then I kind of sung it over the chords, didn't really work. And then I was like, hang on, well, maybe we can just slot in a little bit of Beautiful Exchange. And I just like what it says, on the end of that song, you've got this kind of instrumental music, which is, I think, to me, it's a really spiritual piece of music, and it's really moving. And I thought, what else would you want to sing in that gap except for Holy Are You God, Holy Is Your Name, with everything I've got, my heart will say how I love you. So we just slotted in there and just kind of went in perfect. And the chords are completely different, obviously, but just fit. And I actually love the way that the melody kind of inflects off the different chords, and it's cool. So it's kind of why the song's called B, Beautiful Exchange. B is also another name for God. B is also a reference in how we're called to be, knowing that Jesus is now with us. Sorry, it's deep. I don't know if people get this stuff. I think about these things though.
JD, are you going to miss Joel when he moves to NYC?
Are you going to miss me when I move to New York City tomorrow?
Well, funny you ask that, because the obvious and true answer is yes, I'll miss him a lot. I don't know how I'm going to survive those 3 days until I see him again. I'm trying to prepare myself mentally, but I don't think anything can prepare myself for 3 days without Joel. Obviously, I'll definitely miss him. And I remember when he first kind of said it, I think we all kind of freaked out a bit, because we love the dude because he's nice to us and he loves us, and he also kicks us in the behind when we need it, which is always good. But reality is that I think I'll probably see you more anyway than I did last year, because we're getting to travel the world together this year again, and obviously Joel's going to be in Sydney quite a bit doing all our main events. But yeah, I'll definitely miss him, but at the same time, I guess maybe it's just my coping mechanism. I'm trying to just pretend that he's only just going there for little bits so I can still kind of survive. But yeah, it's hard to sleep at the moment, but I'm just getting by. I do love you, bro.
I love you too.
Next question. Oh, do you want
Joel has a dog though, and I think he's going to miss you.
Yeah, I'm going to miss the dog. Well, yeah, hopefully the dog's going to come with me at some point, but
What's his name?
the dog's name is Danger. He's a beast.
He's massive. He's massive. Yeah. How is the Deluxe different from the Standard? Would you like to answer it?
Well, it's a slight issue of contention, because I actually think there might be a mistake with the Deluxe in the States. Here in Australia, and I think in most parts of the world, there's about 5 videos that kind of unpackage what it's all about. And I'm not sure, I noticed this morning, I'm not sure that the Deluxe version in the States are getting those videos. And I might have just caused a bit of an issue. The LP. Yeah, it's also the LP. There's about 60 images there, and like, there's videos, there's stories behind all the songs. I'm not actually, there's a lot. Yeah, all the lyrics, you can get the lyrics and the booklet and stuff. If you get the chance to get the actual physical CD, I hope you get the chance, because it's, I think art-wise, it's kind of, it all helps to kind of tell the story, and I'm really proud of it and what the guys have achieved. So, yeah, but the LP, the Deluxe is an LP, which on iTunes means that it's interactive. So the stuff that plays while you play the music and stuff, I think I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm probably actually not the wrong person to ask.
That might be why they asked me, man. But that's cool.
Yeah. Well, do you know? All right, next question. Oh, yeah? Because I'm going to New York, does that mean I'm leaving Hillsong United? Absolutely not. Just for the record. No, not at all.
I've been freaking out about that, bro. I'm glad
Well, I mean, I've been meant to let you know. No, I'm not going anywhere. I am going to New York, and we're in the process of starting a church there, and it's really exciting. And so I'll be based there. I leave tomorrow. That's right. This is my last day in Australia. I'm talking to you guys.
Have you even packed?
Haven't packed yet. No, I started packing this morning. That's why I was a little bit late. So yeah, it's life is pretty full, but I'm really excited about this, and so I'll be based in New York, but also back and forth here to Sydney because so much of our life is here, and then with United going to continue. I mean, yeah, we seem to, we all have lived very busy lives anyways, and yet we somehow managed to make sure that we all remain best mates and that working together. And I think it's the best thing about being connected to something bigger than ourselves. Our connection point is not, making music to Hillsong United or traveling the world to Hillsong United. It's actually just being a part of a church. And so what we're wanting to establish in New York is very much connected heart and soul to what we've always been doing here in Sydney. And even here in Sydney, some of our guys are in the city, some of them are out here. We're kind of right now we're about 40 minutes out of the city. And yet we still just do life together. Phil Dooley, who's been a huge part of Hillsong United over the years, he's been in Cape Town for the last 2.5 years, and feel as close to him as ever. Maybe don't get to spend as much time kind of in the flesh, but still.
He still cracks jokes at us.
Most definitely cracks jokes at us from a distance.
Over social media.
Over social media and other.
Quite cowardly, actually.
Communicative devices. So anyway, with Hillsong United, we're only throwing ourselves into it more and more, and it is a big collective, and it's made up of a lot of people, and I'm certainly not going anywhere, not in a hurry anyway, not until you kick me out. So with the upcoming tour, say you've been to a Hillsong United night previously, what should you be expecting for this one?
Well, I don't know. I could kind of tell you everything, but I also reckon I think you'd be hopefully surprised. Hopefully we I guess what we're trying to do in absolutely every aspect of it is kind of step it up massively from what we personally kind of bring to all together. So basically, you name it. Hopefully, it's a lot better than last time that you kind of saw us, and I think we're just. Basically, which is kind of part of what we've always been about, is just we want to pretty much do the best with what God's put in our hand. And so we've kind of looked at the model of how we've done it in the past and gone, yeah, that's great, but it's time to do it better and do it bigger. And so so I kind of think that kind of don't expect what you saw last time or were a part of. But I guess one thing that we want to always make sure, which is the goal of the nights always, is that we encounter Jesus like never before. And so that's one thing for sure. The goal for that hasn't changed, but the way that we kind of do it is maybe a little bit different. And we're doing a few new songs, and we've got a few new instrumentation, and the setup's a little bit different, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
We're really excited to be doing some really kind of iconic venues on this tour, and so we're trying to work hard to fill these large venues with kind of so that we're not disconnected, because in big venues it can often be really hard to kind of connect with everybody, but we're working really hard to make sure it translates well. And I also have a few new black t-shirts I'll be rolling out on this tour, so just check out them.
Yeah, I think I would say it's been a while since we've been back to some of these places. Like, for example, Los Angeles, it's been 2 years. Yeah. And, I mean, everything changes. So much changes in 2 years. And God doesn't. He says the same. But certainly how we can, worship Him, I think there's everything's changing, So we're certainly... I think you're up for something fresh. I think you won't be disappointed. And I also know, I know sometimes it feels weird paying for. You shouldn't have to pay for worship. It's a fact. But also at the same time, I don't apologise for the fact that we're wanting to bring something that's at the best possible standard we can, and we've worked really hard to make sure that it's as cheap as possible. You know, we don't walk home. Not one of us walks home with a cent at the end of the day. Everything kind of goes into the cost of the tour, and any proceeds that we make on the tour actually ends up helping us to get to places elsewhere in the world where it's you know, often people don't go because it's just you can't do it, and so it's all very much everything's purpose driven, and so you know, I think it's going to be a really good time. So hopefully everyone out there gets a chance to come along. Hopefully we get to see you, because it's the greatest thing in the whole wide world, is getting together with brothers and sisters and people who share, you know, a common faith, and just kind of celebrating who God is and what He's about and what He wants to do in and through us in this time. So it's going to be fun. Any plans for another Spanish album? Well, my Spanish is just getting better and better.
It is, John. It is.
I would have said that in Spanish if I knew how. No, definitely, I think at some point we'll do something else in Spanish. Con Todo, I believe, is going really well, and I think it's helping a lot of people. And we're going to be in South America at the end of the year. And my favorite thing ever is singing in Spanish with a crowd singing in Spanish, and it's the greatest. And I think we've also got plans in the pipeline also to look at putting projects together in some other languages as well. So at the moment, Jad's working on his Mandarin, and which is, has he got anything?
Yeah, I got nothing.
No, yeah, he's got a bit of work to do. But
I do love starting a song, and you go to sing the first verse in Spanish, and you get one syllable out, and the crowd just pretty much knocks you over, and they just take over. And I'm like, all right, that's awesome, because then I don't have to risk my dodgy Spanish for the verse, and you guys just rule it.
it's true. We love you. Next question. Any plans on growing your hair out so you look like JD and me?
I have gnarly curly hair though, so like,
Oh man, it would be the best.
it would be like, you know. So I don't know. I like just kind of getting out of the shower in the morning, putting clothes on, and not even looking at the mirror.
That's what I do as well. Does it look like I spent much time on this morning?
Who knows? Anything's possible, man. But I mean, it'll take me
I vote
4
that
years
you
to
should.
get JD's long hair.
The reason I've got long hair, and this is honestly the only reason, is I haven't had time or made time to get a haircut. It's the only reason. Now it is what it is. So anyway, maybe on tour we might pull out the scissors one night and have a bit of a chop. Hey? The question was, Joel, what's your favourite song on the album and why? I don't know. Probably got a few favourites. I think at the moment my favourite song is Rhythms of Grace, and I think lyrically it's just an incredible. I mean, it was written by a guy in a team called Dean Usher and another guy called Chris Davenport, and the lyrics are deep, and I love what it has to say, and we've been singing it a lot, and every time we sing it, it's like, I don't know, it's everything's just, that song does it all. The movement, the music sits with the lyric. It's got kind of these big moments, these tender moments, and it's a journey, and to me that's all that a worship song should be. And it doesn't sound generic. It doesn't sound like, 1,000 other songs that we've been singing for a long time, and so that's one of my favourites. It's one of the ones I'm really looking forward to singing on tour, and it's track 4. Go and listen to it now. No questions? All right, well, thanks. JD.
Oh, does he ever?
Do you have any new moves planned for tour? And would you be willing to show the world a preview?
It's called the Triple Purple Helicopter. That's what it's called.
I definitely do have new moves. I definitely don't want to do it now, though. Just pick one. You guys are such good friends, eh? Just full on bailed on me.
Just let me get this water out of the way, bro.
I didn't even know I had a water. Still or sparkling. I feel underprepared here. No, is this really happening? Okay, I'm on the spot here, but
Don't hold back, JD. It's not in your nature.
I love that you empty your pockets.
This is real. This is happening.
JD, just keep in mind there's no music.
Just keep in mind there's no music.
Careful,
Don't injure yourself, man. I didn't know Daft Punk was here. Are we recording this? See you later, everybody. Thanks for joining us.